Welcome to Arise Entertainment 360. I'm Shannon, LaNier.
And I'm Keturah King, live from New York. We're here with your 360 look at entertainment, arts, and culture.
And I'm excited to talk about a little music today.
Yeah.
Because Kendrick Lamar, a biography, is in the works.
Ooh.
Yes. Now, as you know, the Compton rapper has incredible loyal fans.
Yep.
And with the runway success of Black Panther, which he did all the soundtrack mixing and moving and driving for, well, guess what? He's accompanying the soundtrack for that, and his fan base just keeps growing because of it.
And now all of us diehard Kendrick fans who've been waiting for his story to be documented since he dropped Overly Dedicated back in 2010 are getting just that. Marcus J. Moore is the music journalist and senior editor at Bandcamp who has signed on to pen the cultural biography on K-Dot, and we cannot wait.
I know. I mean, once you have the nod of the president, well, President Obama, that is, and the First Lady, you can't go wrong with that, right?
Absolutely. Kendrick is one to watch, the man of the moment.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And did you know that perfect is boring?
Says who?
Well, at least according to supermodel Tyra Banks, that is, who will be releasing a new memoir by the same name alongside her mom.
Now, she's no stranger to keeping things real, and she'll be dishing on it all when this memoir hit stands this Friday, including the revelation on how she got a nose job early on in her career. Ooh. I'm so happy she's finally answered that question, because it's been up for debate for ages. I mean, I've been studying pictures of her when she was 16 versus now, and I'm like, it's so subtle you can't tell. The doctor definitely did a good job.
But you think that that's all she had done?
Oh, no, definitely not. But she admits to it as well in the memoir.
Yes.
She talks about what she has had done and the fact that she no longer wants to, you know, not admit to it or keep it a lie or keep it under wraps, if you will, because there are young girls watching her.
That's true.
And she wants them to know that perfect is boring.
I like that. I'm proud of her. I love how she always uses her platform for a good cause. So good for you. All right. Well, in a freakish twist of fate, even though it's not Friday, you know, Freaky Friday, get it? Lindsay Lohan is now a spokesperson for lawyers.com.
Huh?
Yeah, lawyers.com.
Well, in the promotional advert, she joked that she thought she was in trouble again when the legal service contacted her. Let's take a look.
When Lawyer.com first reached out to me, I was confused and a little scared because I thought I was in trouble. But when they asked me to be their spokesperson, I was intrigued. After meeting with the team, I realized Lawyer.com is just about helping people. From getting a DUI, let's not pretend like I didn't get one, or two, or three, or some others. It's so simple, and it's free. All you have to do is go online or give us a call. So let's get started, because at Lawyer.com, we're always here for you.
That is pretty funny. I love how she can make fun of herself.
I know. Keeping sort of making light of the situation, of which there have been many.
And we all know about it, so why hide it?
Right. Well, it looks like she's turning over a new leaf, so congratulations, Lindsay, and I hope these endorsements last for a long time. And that good behavior.
And your sobriety.
Ah.
Yeah, okay. Well, in a recent GQ interview, Tiffany Haddish revealed a few dating tips she has for men. And some of them include scented junk. Yeah.
Scented
junk. Lower region.
That sounds incredibly weird,
Right.
but she is so into scents, if you will, that she says really attentive guys that carry feminine products around are rewarded.
Oh.
I think we all know what that means. Now let's just take a little look at Tiffany's advice for what to do after your date and the best place to take someone out on a first date.
After date etiquette, give her a call. If you liked her, give her a call. The next day, at least 8 to 12 hours later. Don't be calling like, I made it home, are you okay? Yeah, I'm okay, you dropped me off. Like, don't be needy and don't seem thirsty, okay? Thirst is the worst. I'll say it again. Thirst is the worst. And then don't try to keep her on the phone for 14 hours. Don't be trying to talk her head off. You know what I'm saying? Don't be trying to get her to tell you her whole life story in that one conversation. After you just ask her out on another date. That's it. Make a schedule. Done. You know what the best first date location is? Is take her to a painting class, one of them paint and pour classes. See, you can get that on Groupon for like $24. Okay, 2 for $42, right? And then you got liquor there already. They give you one free glass of wine. Bam, that's super cheap. 2, you get to see how creative and artistic she is, and she get to see how creative and artistic you are. And if her painting is ugly, you don't have to fuck with no more.
She is hilarious.
I love her. And she's right. This is some great ideas. I like the painting class. It's not a bad idea to smell good.
Okay, that's a great idea.
Right.
The others, I'm not too sure that I would be accepting any of those date offers if I would profit them.
Okay, well, fair enough. All right, but we know where to get them, though. Groupon. Go ahead with your sponsorship. All right. All right, so a student who turned up late to class, which I don't allow.
But you used to do all the time?
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
But I may approve of this behavior because he arrived late and was made to pay the price.
That is right. His professor punished him by making him dance in front of the whole class. But it looks like he enjoyed it, and clearly so did his classmates. Take a look.
I might have to try this theory in my class, see if it works.
I mean, if it's not
Class.
he looks a little bit more like the professor than the student, but hey.
Well, no, he needs to work on those moves. It's a perfect time to do it. We should work on our moves during the commercial break.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm a great dancer.
Oh, well, go ahead and show us.
No, thank you. We will be right back with more Rise Entertainment 360. Stop touching. I dance with you. Welcome back to Rise Entertainment 360. Multiple Emmy-winning TV producer, radio host, executive producer, and creator of the empowering motivational show, Money Making Conversations, Rushion McDonald just may be the busiest man in showbiz.
That's right. He's also the CEO of his company, 3815 Media Inc., and he's here to unlock the secrets to success one conversation at a time. Rashawn, welcome to the show.
I appreciate you. How you doing? Ever get that official handshake? How you doing?
Thank you very much. I like to be worshipped.
I come for the international flavor. My brand's been domestic. I'm trying to get international. That is why I'm here today.
Wow.
It's going to be only a matter of time because your show is off the chain.
Off the heezy.
Well, I'm really happy about it. It started on my Facebook page. When I was managing Steve Harvey, I started managing Steve Harvey in 2000. When that kind of gave me the impetus because my background is mathematics, and I've been corporate trained at IBM, and so I was a sitcom writer when he asked me to manage them in 2000. That allowed me to be able to build his brand through Family Feud. Got the international relationships when I did his book Act Like a Lady, Think Like a Man. We sold 3 million worldwide. It was translated in 30 languages, and that got produced into 2 movies, Think Like a Man 1 and 2.
Yeah.
And so that allowed me to really get my brand. We launched a talk show, and 2 years ago, I decided to get a balanced life, because what happens is, and I want to tell everybody this, you can just drive that lane of success, and it's like a wheel, and you're afraid to get off. And I was afraid to get off of it. And when I got off it, I will be honest with you, I was lost as to who Rushion McDonald was.
Wow.
And it all came back to relationships, and also be defining what is your team, because you're not going to be successful if you're trying to grind by yourself.
Yep.
You got to have people who you trust, who are willing to, question you.
Yes.
Because you can't be the genius. If you're the genius in your room, it's a pretty dumb room.
You're the wrong room.
It's a pretty dumb room. So that's where I'm at right now with Money Making Conversation. I decided last year, just on a whim, I was going to do it just for 4 weeks, last May, and just to reintroduce myself into the, the entertainment community.
Yeah.
And I launched it in Houston, and the hurricane hit in August, basically wiped out Houston, and I moved the show to Atlanta. It's live in Atlanta, and it is off the chain.
Yes, it is. Now, we're going to focus on your relationship with Steve Harvey a bit later on.
No problem.
But let's focus on you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I want to give everybody the start, because people like to know, why y'all talking to this dude?
Well, because you're incredibly important.
Thank you very much.
I would like for you to explain to our viewers what exactly Money Making Conversations is, and what led you to create it.
Okay, basically, I communicate with CEOs, celebrities who are, it's an entrepreneurship, entertainment, radio talk show that's also very popular on podcasts. Stylists. You know, you can hear it on iHeartRadio podcast. You can also hear it on, I really want to get into the HBCU schools. And so I'm on Sirius XM HBCU channel 142. So I don't want the African-American community to be left out in that supposedly entrepreneurial spurge that's in 18 to 34. Like Silicon Valley, you hear about technology. One of the things that has frustrated me over the years is that the minority community always seems to be left out or don't get the respect in the technology or the STEM platforms out there. And so I really am pushing this in the direction. And my services are free on my radio show.
Wow.
I don't, you don't have to pay for my podcast. You don't have to pay for listening to my radio show.
Amazing.
It's because of the fact that it was really interesting how the millennial generation has gravitated to me. I'm like their uncle, and I'm willing to give information because they look at my resume and it's real. And so just to give further detail about what it is, it's about entrepreneurship and entertainment. I interview CEOs, I interview celebrities, entrepreneurs, and industry decision makers. Like I had on my show Monday, the mayor of Houston, Sylvester Turner. So I really get engaged, and what they do is give us information about leading a balanced life, which I think is important. Secrets to success, which are tied to the consistency, relationship, and goal planning.
It's like people are sitting through a 2-hour TED Talk every week.
Absolutely. With different people.
Well, name drop for us.
Well, I'm gonna tell you something. It's really interesting. There's two guests that were really interesting on my show recently. Bishop T.D. Jakes, who has an amazing book called Soar, and his parents were both entrepreneurs. And so when people go, why is he doing all these things? Well, his mom was basically a real estate mogul in West Virginia. His dad had a cleaning business. And then this young lady, 20, Jacqueline Carr. She's a gospel singer out of Arkansas.
I love her.
And so she has this book called You Can Win. I'm going like, what does a 20-year-old know about winning? A lot. And so because
she's inspiring us.
She's amazing. And so that's what the show brings. Because when you make your decisions in life, whatever you make, whatever kind of income you're generating in your 40s or 50s is based on what you learn and do in your 20s. Your 30s is just the time period that you build your resume off. So you can make money in your 40s and 50s. But the goal is for the hype in your resume to become one. And that's what money making conversation is, giving you the plan to be successful with believable goals.
I like that.
It's not hype, it's goals.
And that's the most important part, to have something substantial to hold on to.
That's true. That's very true.
What sort of substance would you say you offer to your listeners in terms of how to deal or how to engage in today's economic climate? This
is what I want to tell people. Okay, we have different age groups out there. And I always tell people, first of all, if you're 50 or 60, stop saying you're done. Okay, don't look at the 65 as your, I can jump off, I can relax, because it doesn't work anymore, because technology has changed the game. And also people should stop beating up on millennials by saying they're entitled, they have an entitlement personality. Look, they grew up in technology. I grew up with a rotary dial telephone.
What's that?
It took me all day long to dial 911.
If I know what that is, you know what that is.
Okay, fair enough.
And that's amazing what we realize. So that back in the day conversation shouldn't happen to people who have technology. We have a group of people, and the iPhone is roughly 10 years old. Okay, we have another group of people who grew up entirely in the internet era. So that means information comes to them quickly. Let me just show you something, talk to you something about, like Emma Gonzalez. That's the young lady who's unfortunately in the gun violence situation in Florida. She has 1.3 million social media followers. She's a brand. It used to be a brand was Apple. It used to be a brand was IBM. A brand was Ford. Brands are now walking, talking people who social. Look what happened. Kylie Jenner. She makes a note about Snapchat. Stock drop.
Stocks plummet.
Same thing with Rihanna. That's the power has shifted. So when you start talking about millennials who are entitlement, the game has changed. Everybody on social media, your social media is basically your daily press conference. You don't have to tell anybody or call anybody. You just post. And people should understand that your brand value should be achieved by how you give it to everybody.
But what are you doing that makes you, as you've been called the mentoring voice for the millennial generation, what are you doing differently that gives you that title?
Well, first of all, my resume is real. And again, I am bored out in the social media generation. You can just Google me, and then you can see my history. First of all, education. You know, I can say that because of the fact that my degree is in math. You can say that because of the fact that my corporate training is IBM. I was a sitcom writer. And so each layer is legitimate and laid out. I didn't just jump around and say, was he kind of successful there? No, I've had the success. Work with State Farm, work with Ford, work with all these corporations, JCPenney's, outlining plans for success that they trusted. Global brands, you know, Home Depot. So these allows an individual to come to me and you can question me, you can challenge me. That's the goal. That I am an open book.
Well, that's the mark of a great teacher, one that you can actually challenge, that doesn't take offense to any question.
And I think that that's what annoys me sometimes when I listen to people. What is your resume? Why are you giving people advice? What's in your bank account?
Where are your receipts?
There you go.
I like that.
And people don't have them. And so I just, I'm not here to brag. I'm just here to tell people, when you come to money-making conversation, I have value that will allow you to grow. I have information that I can teach you. It's for free because I'm making myself available as a mentor.
And why did you decide to make this available via radio as opposed to TV appearances?
Well, I'm just telling you, it started on my Facebook page. So every Monday, I would at 1 o'clock, I would take questions, and it was supposed to be for an hour, but of course it would be like 2 or 3 hours because people would respond back to me. So they would respond, I would respond back to them. So it was like a 3-hour period. And like I told you, I was just doing it for 4 weeks in Houston, Texas, and it just has continued to grow. And I didn't realize at first it was like totally celebrity driven, and because I was just trying to get me some hype. Patti LaBelle, Charlie Wilson, you know. All, keep it real. Yeah, keep it real. Said you can entertain her. I'm trying to blow up here. I'm trying to blow up the team. Okay, then I looked at my staff. I go, what am I doing? What am I doing? Who am I helping here? And I realized I just changed the format and really went to the entrepreneurial side. And then the engagement came from the fact that I brought back the entertainment, because that's a natural question.
When you think about the topics, what specifically are you focusing on? Like stocks and bonds?
Oh, no, I don't go there.
Wealth and creation? What?
I would tell you, I strictly talk about small business entrepreneurial values, because I don't get into your financial crisis unless you're trying to do a business plan. Business plans are important. That should be the number. That's your Bible if you're trying to start a business. If you don't have a business plan, why are you out there talking about you have a business? And people do that all the time. They just because they just see I charge somebody $10. $10. What about the taxes? What about the health plan? What about the
what they say: when you fail to plan, you plan to fail.
And you will fail without a business plan. And so
I'm gonna have to stop you there because we have to take a short break.
Okay, cool. Because I'm on the road.
I know.
We want to keep you on the road. We want to keep you here because we have a lot more questions.
Absolutely. We're loving getting all these insights from you. But don't go anywhere, guys. We'll be right back with more Rise 360 and, of course, Rushion McDonald.
Thank you.
You're doing great.
Oh, thank you.
I'm getting all this information. Welcome back to Rise 360. We're still hanging out with Rushion McDonald. He's giving us amazing nuggets and wisdom about not only his show, but also your life and your career.
Yes, sir.
Now, let's go back for a minute, rather. Think about all the way back. You see, I got the fishing rod. Now, take us back from the journey of growing up in the 5th Ward of Houston, Texas, to where you are today, being the megastar business mogul.
Okay, here's the deal. 5th Ward is an inner city in Houston, Texas. I grew up with 6 sisters, 2 brothers, 1-bedroom shotgun house. My father was a truck driver. My mom, maybe a 3rd grade education. And my mom, she finished high school. And so I am that person that people tell you is not going to make it. Not because I sold drugs, people would just write you off. You're in the inner city, your father doesn't have an education beyond high school. He didn't finish elementary school, basically. So, but I had people who believed in me. I call them bumps. Everybody has a bump. Even to here, people have bumped you. When you steered off that track, they told you how great you were. They told you you could be special. Right. These bumps are important, and you should not ignore them because they're the ones that keep you on course. They're the ones that make you sure that you understand your value. And so I had these bumps along the way in high school. And when I went to college, people came up to me and said, hey, you're special. Do not ignore that. That's why I always tell people it's terrible when people talk negative to children. inspiring.
Oh, yes.
Because that's a mind you can shape.
Yeah.
That's a mind that's a blank slate. And if you talk positive to them, then they can do anything, whether it's athletics or academics. And so that's how you're looking at a guy who came from that environment. And so when I went to college, guess what? Took me 7 years to graduate, because guess what? I went to the party. And I realized that, guess what? Parties don't get degrees. And so after my 4th year, I decided to get serious. And then I developed what I discovered right then was short-term goals. And it's important that people understand that, because when people start setting goals, they tend to be so far out, whether it's a college degree or a business, and you need to do short-term goals. Short-term goals can be very simple. Friends that are not in your life positively, get rid of them.
Oh, that's, okay.
Seriously.
Are we talking about short term as in 3 months, 6 months, or right now?
Right now. I mean, it's people in your lives emotionally, or you're dating them. You should get rid of these people.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, there are people out there that clean out your backyard, clean out your house, clean out your garage. These are goals that you can control. Once you put a goal in place, it will make you feel good. Do not underestimate what I'm saying. You need to feel good today to be successful.
Absolutely.
Next week. If you don't do these things, guess what? That junkie garage is going to be there, and it's going to bring you down emotionally. That best friend that you call your best friend, who always has that negative spirit, will bring you down emotionally.
Well, speaking of the goals, the short-term or long-term goals, how did you go from being an executive at IBM to being a stand-up comedian? Was that one of your goals?
Well, no, it wasn't. Here's another thing. I want to talk about fear. I want to talk about fear and change.
Right.
Because this stops a lot of people. That's why people are still in jobs they don't like. Fear to change, because think about your lifestyle that you have. There are no guarantees. And not saying that I'm trying to say anything negative, but if you go to work at an IBM, you go to work to the Fortune 500, you pretty much feel that job's going to be around as long as you do good work. That's not necessarily the case in the entertainment business. So there's a lot of fear of change. And so as a stand-up comic, that was the ultimate challenge for me. And I started in college on a lark. You know, Sam Kinison, if people are familiar with that name, I did stand-up comedy with him, Bill Hicks, Brett Butler, Jerry Seinfeld when I was in New York, George Wallace. John Stewart knows me, Dennis Leary knows
We'll just set it up like this. You competed as the funniest man in America and lost to Ellen DeGeneres. That's pretty impressive. If there's anybody who's going to lose to, I would take it. That's a trophy in itself.
Happily.
Oh, yeah. Y'all know some
If you
interesting
lose
things
to
about me.
Ellen DeGeneres, you're not a loser.
No. Just to be in the
second best comic in the world.
To be in the same camp with her is amazing.
Tell us that story.
Well, here's the deal. It was that you know, when you're in life, you really don't appreciate your efforts until you look back. I always tell people, take the time, and that's something that Jacqueline Carr in my interview who taught me, learn to celebrate your success. That is something that I have not done consistently in my life. You need, whether celebrate your success, should be birthdays, anniversaries, moments of achievement, so you can look back and calculate your future to a level of positivity. That's all this interview is about.
Yeah, because you're so busy getting caught up in the moment and getting to that nexus that you don't have time to focus on the success.
When I talk about things like this, you know, losing to Ellen DeGeneres, I won the best comic in Texas 3 years in a row. I was working at IBM in the daytime doing stand-up comedy at night. After I lost to her that 3rd year, I decided to leave and pursue a career as a stand-up comic. But I'm going to tell y'all something interesting about that. The year before, I had went up to New York. I'm from Houston. I was doing stand-up comedy in Houston. I went to New York, and I went on stage and killed. They was talking about, you the next star, because I had nothing to lose. I was still working at IBM. When I quit IBM and I went up to New York, I was afraid to make mistakes. I started saying, maybe they want me to be this type of comic. Maybe they want me to be this type of comic. In the end, I say to that, be yourself. That way, if you lose, you can fix you.
Absolutely.
Well, it worked for you because you were able to work with Steve Harvey of all people.
That was the same year that you met him and then formed a partnership that would last 30 years.
Very much so. You know, and the thing about it is that the same person you see here was the same person he met. I'm a person that shares my abilities to be successful to anybody. And that's what he took away with. I gave him some marketing tips, and he lived and died with that. And in 2000, he'd always ask me for advice over the years. In 2000, he asked me to manage him, and we forged a relationship which became the world-renowned brand that he is today, and built my career as one of the phenomenal executive producers and entertaining advisors in branding marketing.
And now you're still helping people build their careers and brand themselves through your show, Money Making Conversations. Tell us where we can catch it real quick.
Money Making Conversations on 3 platforms, Facebook, Money Making Conversation. Instagram, Money Making Conversation. Twitter,
Money Making Conversations.
There's no I am or who is he or the number one. No. Money Making Conversation. Just like my Rushion McDonald's on Twitter, Rushion McDonald's on Facebook, Rushion McDonald's on Instagram. Okay. And we hadn't even talked about my baking, but that's another show.
That's another story for another day.
Definitely come back and bring some of your baked goods.
I would do that. I would bring some bacon. I promise you. Thank you so much,
Thank you so much, and we'll be right back after this short break. Stay with us.
We need like an hour with you. Clearly. Welcome back to Rise 360. Now we know that every guy and gal needs a personal glam team to give them the do's and don'ts on fashion.
And lucky for us, we have just the team who are the best in the business. Taking a break from all their celebrity clients are celebrity makeup artist Frank Guyton, celebrity and editorial stylist Joey Thorpe, and Derek Monroe, celebrity hairstylist. Hello, guys. All right. Look at y'all looking glam. Thank you. You're representing very well.
All right, so we have to kick things off with talking about the 2018 Spring-Summer beauty trends. I know there are a lot of them, but what do we focus on first? Let's start with makeup. What are the things we need to focus on to get our life right?
Well, yes, let's get our life right. So what we have to think about is going into spring and summer months, it gets hot, right? And the last thing that women want to do... Right, exactly. Eventually we'll get there. But normally women don't want a lot of foundation on their face. So that's the first thing that we address. So when you're going to see, what you're going to see this spring, summer, or you're going to see less foundation, it's like that no makeup look. So tinted moisturizers are always going to be a great thing to go towards. And it's also going to be about SPF. No matter what your skin tone is, SPF is so important, right? And a lot of products and a lot of companies right now have it already infused in the product, so you don't have to buy a separate one, because that is no more the case. What we're also going to see is a lot of glitter. And glitter, everybody wants glitter, right? Yes. And it's really interesting because it's haphazardly placed on the eye area. So it's like, you know, maybe on the outer corners, the inner corners, the lid, however you want to artistically express yourself. And another
But you don't want to overdo the glitter, right?
No. Well, you know what? You can, depending on who you are.
Look at that. That is overdoing it.
That's overdoing. But see, this is the thing. This is what fashion does. Fashion takes you there so you can see this is the trend, glitter. But then the pair back effect is where I just got done telling you, on the corners, inner corners, outer corners, the lid, wherever you want it.
Some of those looks.
Right?
I mean, not that
and another great trend too that you'll be seeing is false lashes dipped in glitter and then placed on the eye. And that's the simple statement. You could totally do that. Tell me more, right?
I like
yes, Makeup Forever is a great brand to go to for glitter. And they have glitter adhesive. So for that trick that I just told you about dipping the lashes in the glitter, they have adhesive so you don't have to worry about it falling into your eye.
Which you do not want.
You don't want that. So you can definitely create this look and wear it and not have to worry about any hazardous things. Also, the last thing that I really want to talk about before we go on is gloss. Gloss is going to be making its comeback. So for all the ladies out there who have all the matte lips, I hate to tell you, as I talk to Joey.
Okay, I mean, matte lips are here to stay for me.
But let me tell you something. If you have your matte lips and you have a wide range of them, go ahead and get a clear gloss and just put it over top of the matte lip, and then you've created a whole new look.
Right.
But gloss is definitely making a comeback.
Like that's what the model in the middle has done there. It looks a bit matte underneath, but then you've got the shiny effect on top.
Exactly, and it's haphazardly placed on the lip. It's not precision anymore. Just throw the color on, don't make it perfect, and throw a gloss so it looks like you just haphazardly
I feel like we say this, haphazardly placed. It sounds great in theory, but in real life, when you see someone walking down the street with haphazard eyebrows or haphazard glitter placed on their face, you're like,
what are you doing
in the mirror?
But the thing about it is, you don't haphazardly means staying within the lines.
Right. Okay. So not coloring
not
outside.
All over here.
Not lipstick on your forehead.
Right. Unless you're avant-garde. Now, if you're avant-garde, then go for it.
Now let's talk fashion, Joey.
Yay, my favorite topic.
Yes. I mean, clearly, look at that resplendent red. Now, on the runways at New York Fashion Week, I saw a lot of pastels, a lot of lilacs, a lot of soft pinks. But I'm wondering, especially with the color you're wearing today, are bold, bright colors making a comeback?
Well, they are. So there are several trends that came off the runway this season. So definitely bold colors are great. All sorts of bold colors like red, purple, yellow. But then those pastels too. And it's great because pastels are like colors, so they go together. You can do pastel pink and pastel blue and purple all together and not feel like an Easter egg because it's very pretty. It's a very pretty, ethereal kind of color.
Yeah, I saw a Song of Style and Shannon wearing pastels, lilacs, but then with like bold reds and bold purples.
Yeah,
like,
you can mix it up. You can mix it up. You don't have to do exactly what the runway translates. You know, you can do it for your personal style and who you are as a woman, and that's what I like. You know, translating the trend to you as a woman and how you feel comfortable translating it.
Well, speaking of trends, Derek, we just saw Tamar Braxton shave her head bald. I mean, so now Lathan did it. Is that a new trend for spring, summer, or what? What's going on?
I wouldn't say that's a trend for spring, summer. I would say that's a trend for people fed up with their hair. You know, a lot of women, such as Tamar and other ladies like her, they are tired of wearing the wigs and the weaves. So a lot of times they just want to shed it all and they just want to be free. So after you've been, especially for them being in the industry and having to wear the wigs and the weaves all the time, you're just tired of it. So you just break free and then just break and go for it.
So when you're tired of the wigs and the weaves, I mean, I think I can speak authoritatively on this. I don't wear wigs. This is my real hair. What do you suggest you do if you don't want to shave your hair off? Do you suggest maybe putting braids in as an option?
Well, actually, that's one of the trends is braids, and it's not such defined braids, but they're more distressed braids, braids that aren't so perfect, and they're easy to do at home. You know, like the braids on the model. Like it doesn't have to be so perfect anymore. Like we're so used to those nice, pretty lines in the cornrows and your part. You don't have to do that anymore. You can just find random areas to put some nice braids, and you can pin them in different ways and sort of pull them apart so that they have a little
like
frizz.
a fishtail braid or
Exactly. And they're perfect for like festival. We know spring, summer is all about music festivals and stuff. So you always want to have something that your hair looks good no matter how bad the heat gets and no matter how, you know, you get out there dancing and having a good time, that you still look amazing at the same time.
Well, I think one of the things that's like a theme with all of you, that everyone wants to achieve the red carpet look all the time. Everyone's trying to recreate some of the things. How can they do it? Yes, for Instagram. Oh my gosh. I haven't tried. I'm like, am I getting it right?
Try, you do it.
Oh, there you go. But what are some of the secrets to recreating the red carpet look on a realistic budget? Because everybody doesn't have a glam squad with them. So, Frank, what can we do?
Well, let me tell you, department store makeup is very expensive, but drugstore makeup isn't. It's less expensive, and it can definitely meet a certain demographic that can afford that. And the payoff of the foundations and the makeup and the color and the lips is just department stores a lot of the time. So, you know, your Maybelline, your Revlon, all of those are really great brands at affordable prices. So find the looks that you really are drawn to, go to the drugstores and get the colors. It's as simple as that. And then practice the different looks that we as artists put on the celebrities for the red carpet.
Interesting.
I feel like, look, I'm the queen of wanting to look like a red carpet, but like don't have that red carpet budget. So I'm like, go to ASOS.com, go to Topshop, go to H&M, go to Forever 21. You can find really good pieces there, and also you can wait for a sale. You can go on shopbop.com, and sometimes you can find a sale, but you can definitely get things that are long and flowy and pretty, and you can, you know, pair the same colors, like, you know, the brown dress that Zendaya had on. You know, she killed it there. So you can do these things yourself, and you know, it's easy. All you have to do is go shopping on a budget.
I feel like it's a little bit easier with makeup and with clothes. But if you don't know what you're doing with hair,
you know what? For every Kim Kimble and Harry Josh, which are amazing celebrity stylists, they all started somewhere.
That's true.
So you can always go to a hair academy, and you know there are TG Academy or Paul Mitchell, all those different academies. And sometimes don't just rush in and let anybody do you. But sort of go some days and sort of, you know, spectate a little bit and see who's doing the best. And you know, a lot of times there are some amazing creative people that just needed to get their professional footing in the academy. So So I would definitely go sort of look around, see who's doing amazing work, and let them do a little practice on you. And it's for half the price. It's not for the same amount that you would pay in the salon because they're students.
Amazing. Where are these hair academies? Going after this show.
That's a good point. Well, you know, it seems like a lot of celebrities, you guys as clients, are popping up with clothing lines, you know, makeup lines, even things for their hair. Do you guys recommend those lines of different celebrities? And if so, who do you recommend? Who's a good line out there?
So if I could speak to makeup, what I feel about celebrities going into creating makeup lines is very interesting because they have a name, right? And they have a following.
But they usually don't do it themselves.
They
anyway.
don't.
So
They don't know. So what I would suggest is for the consumer to do their research, find out if that celebrity has consulted with professional makeup artists for their actual line, so that you are getting something from one of us per se via the celebrity. Who that way your payoff is going to be actually really nice, and you're going to get what you want to achieve. I have, I play back and forth with it. Some of the lines aren't good from celebrities, and you notice like they'll come out with it and then it'll fall off because the consumer went to purchase it and then realized this is really not what I need. There's so many other lines that are better offering the same thing. So make sure that you do your research and find out if they've actually consulted with a makeup artist for their line. And a lot of times they do. They do seek us out, and it's their own personal makeup artist who they will consult with, and they do get great lines out of it.
Okay, good point.
But clothing, what do you say about that?
I mean, I feel like I'm all about the designer that curated a line and went to school, and it's the craft of the designer, and a lot of times with celebrity is their name just placed on the brand. But some people like Rihanna, like I feel like it's her, the Fenty line is very much her. She would wear it, she would be all for it, she probably helps to design it with the team. So there are the lines you can find that celebrities have a lot of say in what's being curated.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, now I want to take it back a little bit because you mentioned social media briefly, and there are a lot of social media gurus and influencers online now for beauty, hair, makeup, everything. So let's start with hair. Who are some of the hair social media influencers that you think we should be following?
I love Main Addicts. The good thing about Main Addicts, it's multicultural. They carry, they follow black hairstylists, they follow white hairstylists, and a lot of times what they do is they go in the day of the life of the hairstylist in their Insta stories, so that you sort of get a, a well-rounded look on what's going on all over. I like the fact that they, take the time and give you the products that they're using and some of the steps on how you can achieve the same thing that they're showing on their stories.
That's amazing.
I really love Main Addicts. Yeah.
Okay. What about clothing? Who's getting it right?
I like a lot of women on Instagram right now, but I do like Kalana Barfield. She's the editor at InStyle. She actually kills it all the time. She shuts it down, and I love that.
I co-sign that.
Yes. Okay. So she's a little bit of my girl Insta crush right now. Aside from like a celebrity,
Right.
She actually styled one of my clients last night.
Oh, wow.
Look at that.
Okay.
It's a family affair.
It's a small world.
Yeah, I bet.
And Frank, of course, what beauty influencers should be looking out for?
Me?
All right.
Aside from the lovely you, of course, the best.
No, I'm kidding. But it's interesting because there's so many that I follow and they're all really good, but influencers are not always makeup artists, right? So their hand is a little different. There's the Instagram makeup versus what we actually do on the red carpets for publications in fashion.
Let me be clear.
I know it's hard to tackle this monster.
So for me as an artist, I try to, because I work with celebrities and I work a lot with fashion publications and I do fashion stories, I try to give them what they want as far as what products I've used and how to achieve that particular look. And I kind of stay away from the Instagram makeup because it's trendy at the moment. But I would, if I showed up on set, Joey, and I did some of that stuff, I wouldn't be asked to come back.
Feathered brows.
What about the fishy things? What are the fishy things?
Fishtail brows.
And a lot of it's face tuned as well.
A lot of it's Facetune, and this is something I have a really big problem with because
Wait, I'm sorry, what's Facetune?
I'll explain. As a social media guru of the group. So Facetune is a photo editing app whereby you can smoothen out your face, whiten your eyes, in fact just make your face look completely different to how it looks in real life.
So you can't really achieve these things at home that you're trying to achieve by looking on Instagram.
Well, exactly. Through your filter.
But see, this is the thing. I don't want my clients or the people drawn to my social media to look at my work and be like, it's a Facetune. Yes. Like I want them to see that I can blend and you can blend because it's delusional because it's like the Facetunes it's all just washed out and I want you to be able to see the craftsmanship of what I'm creating and how to lift the face, how to structure it, how to put color. It is art. So I don't really.
This is why you post so many videos because you're showing us that you're real, you're authentic.
Yes, I don't need a filter. The filter is in the foundation. The filter is in the foundation with a lot of these lines.
I mean, I will speak to that because the line that you promote and work with, I've been using on the daily, and oh my goodness, no face here glowing.
And see, like J. Manuel Beauty, they've already ahead of the curve because they know like this is going to come to an end because people are going to get tired of seeing makeup and trying to get ideas, and it's Facetune because you can't see where things start and where they begin because it's all blurred out. So J. Manuel Beauty really went ahead and put the filter in the foundation and the whole line.
Well, we're not going to blur any lines in this next segment. We have a treat for you guys, so you don't want to go anywhere. We got something special with our glam team here, so stick around for more Rise 360.
Thank you guys. You enjoyed it? Welcome back to Rise Entertainment 360. We are still here with celebrity makeup artist Frank Guyton, celebrity and editorial stylist Joey Thorpe, and of course celebrity hairstylist Derek Monroe.
And we have a special surprise for you because we are going to put on a fashion show right here on the set where we're going to go through a little bit of hair, a little bit of makeup, and a little bit of fashion style. So let's bring on our first model and tell us about what you guys have done.
Look at this!
You better work it.
Yes, honey. Yes. She is serving all the face. I love this. Okay, I'm so sorry to take everybody else's shine, but we have to start with the clothes. Joey, what have you done?
Hello. So I piled on the pastels because pastel was trending on the runways. Started with the earrings and went on to this Allison Olivia top with the ruffles and the lace, and then this Ted Baker pant. It's really, really hot. And you know what? Pastels, they go together. They complement each other. So I did a pastel yellow purse, shop off, and it goes together in a monochromatic way, and then you can do it with another pastel as well, pop in another color.
Little pop of color there.
And then second trend on the runway, plastics, plastic skirts, plastic accessories, plastic shoes. So bam, I did it with a little bit of PVC going on down here. PVC. So if you're a little afraid of that trend, you can just try it. These shoes are Zara, and they're only $69, so they don't break the bank. And I love PVC because it's kind of like a nude. It's like naked, that naked, sexy look. And I just adore this.
So how do you recommend that one wears the PVC shoe when it's covered? Because when you walk, you sweat a little bit. Are there any little fashion trips to not sweat in your shoes?
Well, baby powder on your toes.
Good idea.
Some light powder. There's also something called dry salt or a dry crystal spray. You can spray on your feet to keep them from sweating.
See, this is why we have people like you on the show. Thank you.
We don't want to run out of time, so we got to get to these corn rolls. Is it what you call them? Because the hair is on point right now. Look at the back.
Need you to turn around. This is so stunning.
Yes.
Wow.
So she has, we did a couple cornrows in the top, and like I said, you don't have to be so perfect with the hair, so we did a little crisscross of the braids towards the back, and then when we got at the bottom, we went in with a fishtail, we went through and pulled it apart. Even in the top, we pulled it apart so that we could get some definition, and so it won't be so flat, and give her a little volume, and so that way she'll just be style free, like not even have to worry about what she looks like. She can just go about her day and just
Just be fabulous. And I mean, we say the best for last. Mr. Frank Dyson, talk to me about these eyes.
Let me tell you, when you have someone like Joey and Derek who are putting this whole ensemble together with hair and clothing, it's like already so amazing. But what Joey pointed out was pastels, and being a big trend. Pastels are also a big trend with cosmetics as well. As you can see, I did a graphic kind of eye, and this is from this whole face is J. Manuel Beauty. So this pencil in this beautiful pastel blue is called OMG. Her lip is this pastel pink called Spank. And let's not get naughty, but you can do, with this whole look, you want to go a little crazy with it because she's so gorgeous, and you know, it's just really flawless. And the thing about it is, if this is too much for you as far as like a really graphic kind of eye in this blue, maybe just do a really small line, but yet you still want to incorporate these colors into your makeup wardrobe because it's on trend. There's just different capacities of how you can apply it in your on your face. So you know, this is the pastel kind of collection for the trend of 2018.
I mean,
beautiful look. Thank you
an
so
amazing
much.
job.
Great,
This is
thank you. We'll bring
stunning.
our next model. Great job. And
wow.
I guess we have to start with
Senorita.
Okay, so we have to quickly get through all these so we don't run out of time.
All right, so there's nothing new about florals, except they're bigger and bolder than ever this season, which is really exciting. Designers do florals every season, but they're just bigger and full bloom. This dress is Fame and Partners from Shop Off. It's a dress, it's $250, but it's an investment piece because you're gonna wear this to everything. Your bridal showers, your weddings, everywhere. You can keep this as a staple.
So we have 2 minutes left.
2 minutes. Let's get down to these shoes.
2 minutes, but we have to go through hair and makeup as well.
All right, good.
Let's talk about hair. Let's talk about hair quickly.
Simple. Go back to the old school roller set. You know, it's healthy on the hair. You don't put all the same heat damage and everything that you normally get with using curling irons. You do a good brush out, and with a good mousse, it'll last all day.
All right, and we can see the glitter on the eyes.
Yes. So this is the look I was telling you about the glitter eye, and where you can do glitter may be a lot for you, but there's haphazardly places to place it. Maybe only on the outside, a little hint of it. And then this whole face is actually from Makeup Forever. This is their ultra high definition foundation, this beautiful lip color, and the gloss over top of it. And this is the trend that's going on right now.
Absolutely stunning. Thank you so much for teaching us how to wear florals, how to wear glitter, and how to look good.
Get a quick pan of this whole outfit because it's amazing when I get down to
That shoe is.
She looks like
Ryan Atwood. They're amazing.
absolutely gorgeous.
Aren't they gorgeous?
She's rocking it. Right now.
Thank you so much.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Amazing job. Now, real quick, we got to make sure we know where to follow all of you because you guys do amazing things online on social media. Real quick.
Thank you. You can find me on my Instagram at Frank Guyton. That's Guy and Ton. Break it down like that. Frank Guyton, and you can find me there.
Amazing. You can find me at THE_JOIEE V_Joye.
Okay.
And mine is just my name, Derek Monroe. DERICK, 1 R.
All right, we'll be following you all. Thank you so much for
Thank
joining
you.
us.
Thank
Woo! Get your fashion on.
Bye, guys.
Peace. You guys did a great job.